Ladies and gentlemen, boy, this thing with former Governor Phil Bryant and Brett Favre is getting deep. It is getting really deep. So, the former Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant subpoenaed for his text messages with Brett Favre about a drug company linked to the former NFL quarterback. Wow, they are going back several years for the communication between Phil Bryant and Brett Favre. So, former Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant has again been subpoenaed amid ongoing civil suit in a multi-million dollar welfare fraud scandal. And this time, the attorneys want to see communication between the ex governor and former NFL Hall of Fame quarterback Brett Favre. So, the attorneys for one of the defendants in the state of Mississippi, the suit issued the subpoena Friday, asking for several years' worth of additional documents and communication between Bryant and Favre, as well as other connected to the case that auditors say resulted in at least, listen to this amount, $77 million in federal welfare dollars being misspent. Now, look, when I first did an article on this, the amount was 5 million. Then I did another article and they said the amount was 20 million. Now they're saying 77 million. And I bet you it's probably even higher than that. The lawsuit stems from an investigation into the state spent tens of millions of dollars in federal money that was intended to go to those in need, according to the state's auditor. Mm-mm-mm. The subpoena was filed by attorneys representing Austin Smith, who is being sued by the state. Smith is the nephew of John Davis, the former Mississippi Department of Human Services director who pled guilty to state and federal charges related to the welfare scheme last month. The state is suing Smith for the return of more than 425,000 in welfare contracts it alleged were paid to him by nonprofits that received money from his uncle. Smith's attorney said in the filings that he was unaware of the payments he received came from temporary assistance for needy family funds. Boy, they were just spending that money like they were in a candy shop. Mm-mm-mm. October 7th subpoena is part of Smith's defense efforts, in which his attorneys have argued that the state unfairly chose only certain individuals to include in its massive civil suit to recoup the stolen funds, noting that he and 37 other people and entities were named, but others, like Brian, were not. Much of the new wide ranging subpoena focuses on texts, documents, and other communications related to pharmaceutical company. Uh, I think there's Prevacus and its corporate affiliate. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, Favre was the largest individual outside investor, holder of corporate stock in Prevacus, according to the state's lawsuit. The former quarterback also at times served as a spokesperson for a concussion drug it was manufacturing. Mm-mm-mm. The state's civil lawsuit alleged that in 2018, Favre encouraged Prevacus CEO Jacob Van Landingham to solicit nonprofit founder Nancy New to MDHS grant proceeds to invest in stock in Prevacus. The new, okay, so new already is being criminally convicted in the scheme and agreed to cooperate with authorities in ongoing investigations. Over the next year, more than 2 million in welfare funds was diverted to the company for the purpose of securing clinical trial sites to be located within Mississippi in order to promote the experimental anti concussion drug. But according to the state's lawsuit, was instead used to buy Prevacus for the people involved in the scheme. You know what this is, y'all, and what it's been this entire time. These people can't be trusted in handling money. They can't. You know, but see, what they have done is made themselves appear like they were trustworthy with money and handling money and, but over the years, how many times have we seen money laundering, or they get in jobs and positions and steal millions of dollars, or they just straight up mismanage the money? I mean, look at the national debt surpassing $31 trillion the first time in history. These people are just bad at handling money. Let's be real. These things don't happen like this if you have people in charge and all they focus on is stealing money anytime they're around it. And that's the truth. Over the next year, so they said, let me just go down because I did read that part. Favre's spokesperson on Sunday night declined to comment on the latest filing. Bryant's attorney, William M. Quinn II, told CNN the subpoena is a legal tool being misused for political purposes. We will respond in due course. Wow. This thing is a mess, y'all. This thing is a mess. Reporting from Mississippi Today earlier this year revealed text messages obtained by journalist Anna Wolf between Favre and then Governor Bryant discussing Prevacus with Favre. Wolf also reported the text showed Bryant agreed to accept a stock option offered days after he left office, but the former governor severed all ties with the company after 6 people, including New and Davis, were arrested in February of 2020 for connections to the welfare fraud. CNN has not independently verified the text messages that appeared in Mississippi Today, but Brian did give an interview to Mississippi Today about the exchanges. In the interview, Brian acknowledged it doesn't look good, but maintained that he did not know public funds were being used for Prevacus. Even though Favre said in a text message to Brian there was funding for the company from the state of Mississippi, Brian said he did not read his text messages carefully enough and failed to notice or connect the dots in terms of the funding source. He's lying. He's lying, y'all. He's lying. You know what? He severed ties because he did not expect all of this stuff that they were doing behind the scenes with money would come to light. He read those messages. Don't be fooled by this. He read every word of those messages that he got from Brett Favre. Now he's trying to play dumb. It is really a defense mechanism that you see people like him use all the time when they get caught up in something. They go to playing dumb. And that's all Phil Bryant is doing. He insisted in the interview with Mississippi Today that he never asked for, received, or wanted stock in the company. The texts between Favre and Bryant, published in Mississippi Today, are requested in the October 7th subpoena issued by Smith's attorney. It isn't the first time communications with the quarterback have come up as part of the civil lawsuit related to misspent welfare funds. He stole y'all stole that money. I love how you play semantics with the words. That money was stolen. Text messages released last month allegedly shows Brian worked to help Favre obtain funds to build a volleyball facility at the University of Southern Mississippi. But see, didn't Brian denied knowing about the funding of that volleyball stadium? Now they're saying that, yeah, he was connected in that. Man, throw them all in jail. Favre played football for the school in 1987 to 1990, and his daughter played volleyball from 2017 to 2022. Yeah, she's running the hell out of there and trying to enroll in another college. Unbelievable. So Mississippi Today reported that at least $5 million of welfare funds were channeled to build the volleyball facility. Neither Smith, Favre, Van Landingham, or Bryan have been criminally charged with anything related to this matter. Why? If that was anybody else, you would have charged them. Bryan also has not been named as a defendant in the state civil suit. Smith and Van Landingham and Favre, however, are all named as defendants in the state's large civil suit trying to claw back some of the funds misspent in the scheme. Well, I don't know how Phil Bryan is left out of this whole thing when he's knee deep into what has happened. It's unbelievable. So what? He was a former governor. He committed a crime, just like the others. I don't see how you can justify excluding Phil Bryan, but that's exactly what they're doing, y'all. They're trying their best not to make sure he gets involved in this whole thing when indeed he was very much involved from the beginning all the way to the end. Yeah, now he's severing ties because it's all coming to light. And this man has done nothing but try to play dumb through the whole thing. And I'm just not buying it, y'all. I don't believe him. But y'all, please tell me what you think about this story. The ties that Brett Favre and Phil Bryan had in a pharmaceutical company, a drug company. So they go way back and been communicating for a long time. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.